Okay, moment of truth here. Siri, turn on the bedroom. Oh, it works. Today I'm going to show you guys how to build this perfect bed. I have the Indestruct bed from Sleeping Duck. I'm going to do a full video on that, but that is an indestructible bed frame. It's beautiful. You can change the paneling so you can make it look different ways. Also, I have the chilipad on top. That's a sleep cooling topper. We did a few videos on that and it's super nice in the summertime. And now we have these LEDs, so let's get into it. So for this project, I decided to use some COBs. Now these are LEDs that are essentially like wand strip. They're finely put together LEDs. They're very bright and these are warm white. I chose warm white because this is a bedroom and I want it to be kind of warm at night and kind of calming. So I have a ton of this stuff. It's really power hungry 12-volt strip. So to power it, we have a 40-watt transformer, and I'll put this in the description as well. So this is pretty slim and it will work really well to power this long strip. To actually connect the transformer to the LED strip, we have a barrel connector right here, and that goes into the female lead right there, and I'll show you guys the link for that. It's just 2 screws, the negative and positive. And then from there, I actually tinned the positive and negative with our soldering gun, and I put this little clip connector on there. So I'll put that in the description as well. It's just a little plastic clip, and all we gotta do is clip in each side so they'll snap in nice and easily. If you see this actual clip, it's transparent, translucent, and it has a little bit of a hinge right here. So you're gonna put that side and it's gonna slide right in. So this really requires a very minimal amount of soldering. Now typically I'd be in my garage, especially with solder, but it's like 130 in there, so no big deal. And plus, you know, I'm gonna replace this carpet anyway, but all I'm gonna do is tin these wires a little bit, make a slightly better connection. And I really suck at soldering, so you know, really, if I can do it, you can do it. When working with the leads, you want just a little bit of slack. I think this is 22 gauge, maybe 20 gauge. It's really thin. So just give yourself a little bit of slack, just something to work with. You really don't want much. You don't want any, you don't want to short out or anything. And if you cut too much, even if it's a little too exposed, you can always just trim a little bit off. So all I gotta do is connect the black to the negative and the red to the positive. And that should look something like this, nice and tight. It shouldn't move at all. Whenever I'm working with LEDs, I try to do it, make sure it works before I hot glue it all together. You won't get shocked or anything. And it just tells you that you have everything connected properly. So moment of truth, it should slide just like that. And then when you're ready, you can snap it closed. Oh, it's working. Okay. All you gotta do now is just snap that closed. And it should do a full snap. In my case, I needed to connect these 2 strips, so I used the same connector. And then if you want, you can add a little bit of solder on those leads just to make a better connection. You might need to do that on the front or back, but this is really a solderless design. If you don't have these fancy connectors, it's not a huge deal. You can just solder directly. Here you can see this was split accidentally, so I added a little bit of solder. And yes, it does work. It's just a pain in the butt. And the soldering gun can, damage this PCB board here. So just keep that in mind. Could put the LEDs behind here, but this is a nice cloth headboard. Maybe I'll change my mind and add LEDs around the whole thing. But right now, it looks like the frame is somewhere around, I don't know, let's just say 80 inches. 80 times 2 is 160. Let's just say the width is 72. So 180 plus 72. And to power this, I'm using the Wemo Smart Switch. This is a super heavy bed. This is the Sleeping Duck Indestruct bed. We're gonna do a full video on it. It's basically 300 pounds of steel. It's literally indestructible. So I'm not able to move this or anything like that. So using a smart switch to, turn on and off the lights plus do an automatic timer at night will be super nice. So let's see if this whole thing works. Siri, turn on the bedroom. Perfect. All right, let's start gluing it together. And I know it's overkill, but doing the smart lights, the Indestruct bed frame, the Chili Sleep cooling system, you can check out the review on that, the automatic air filter, this is gonna be like the ultimate setup. See, I'm putting it on the metal, and about every few inches I'm using some hot glue. You could put it on the wood part, but then you have to go around these pillars here. So this is like the best way I figured out how to do it. But yeah, look how tough this bed is. It's pure pine and steel. I can't move it at all once it's assembled. All right, so hopefully you can see this. I'm using my hot glue gun, and about every few inches, maybe every foot, I'll use a little dollop. But you just want to use a little amount, because I'm telling you, this 3M stuff that comes with it, not very good, not very demure. See, going around corners can be kind of tricky. You want to make sure you have enough slack and that you still don't see the LED strip when you're standing. So these are pretty bendable where I can probably do something like that. Hot tip, if you ever get burned with the glue, it's, you know, if it's stuck on your fingers, just rub your fingers together really fast like that. And it actually cools it down instantly. You would think it would burn you more, but that's the protocol right there. Okay, we are at the very end, so I'm just gonna cut right here in between the connectors. Hopefully it doesn't mess it all up. And there we go. Moment of truth here. Siri, turn on the bedroom. Oh, it works. And the past month on this Indestruct bed has been awesome. It's very well built, and literally you can change the paneling to make it look like anything you want. So in the future, I'll kind of, you know, do a full video on that. And the chilipad has been great as well. In the summertime, it's super hot. This circulates water on the surface to help keep you cool. And in the wintertime, it'll help keep us warm. So this could be the ultimate mattress for us. If you're interested, check out the links below. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. Peace.